Hey, what's up guys, Don Drinks Coke here. So, the initial spoilers for chapter 1070 are finally out, and like always, I'm here to talk about it. So let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so this week's chapter 1070, is titled The Most Powerful Humans. And that title refers to the seraphim who ate artificial devil fruits. On the cover page that is titled The Emotionless Sea Voyage of the Germa 66, volumes 27, we see 5 scientists gathered for the good of the world and humanity. The 5 scientists are Vegapunk, Caesar, Judge, Queen, and a woman we don't see 100%. I don't know about you guys, but this woman that we don't see 100%, to me, is 100% Sora Vinsmoke. Based on my video on the 5 mysteries that we still need to know about Dr. Vegapunk, I mentioned that Sora might have a very close connection to Dr. Vegapunk. So, from last week's chapter, not really last week's chapter, but from last chapter, chapter 1069, I noticed that a lot of people on social media were very disappointed that Luffy did not one-shot Lucci. Even though it was pretty obvious to me that Oda was using this situation and this fight to reveal more about devil fruits to us. And it was also very obvious that Luffy was literally just playing around because he literally fell asleep mid-fight. Luffy was just doing Gear 5 things, just playing around, and even to that point, Lucci did not even land a single hit on Luffy. Which brings me to this week's chapter, chapter 1070, and the spoiler says that the battle of Luffy versus Lucci continues, and Lucci still cannot land a single hit on Luffy. And also, we got a special spoiler panel from Jump Festa that shows that Luffy hits Lucci with a new named attack called Gomu Gomu no Dawn Rocket, or also Gomu Gomu no White Rocket, whichever translation it is. But basically that attack really hits because I can feel the impact of that attack on Lucci and I can literally feel his pain. And this is very interesting because this will show the tenacity of an awakened zone devil fruit user. And since Lucci is probably not down for the count, and Oda still has a lot more devil fruit lore to reveal to us, it seems like we are going to see Lucci next year. But yeah, next line says that Sentomaru is not dead, but he has been defeated and they are taking him away to heal him. And after that, Lucci takes control of the Seraphim. This is very hyped and interesting because now the tides of the battles are pretty much equal, I will say, very fairly, because Luffy, a Yonko using Gear 5th, is now up against Lucci, a awakened Zone Devil Fruit user, CP0, and the Seraphims. But it seems like this chapter, even after taking control of the Seraphims, Lucci did not give some orders for them to attack Luffy. So I'm very interested to see what happens next. Next line says that Vegapunk explains the difficulty of replicating devil fruits. For Zone's devil fruits, they are the easiest to replicate because they are based on animals. But mythological models are very difficult to replicate because of their special conditions. But yeah, even though they are very difficult to replicate, it seems like Vegapunk actually did it with Kaido's devil fruit. But this also brings into the question of whether or not Vegapunk will be able to replicate Luffy's devil fruit, the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika, the Sun God devil fruit. Permisias just needs the lineage factor of the user to be able to replicate it. So it seems like that overall, Permisias are the easiest devil fruit to replicate. He says that Logia are practically impossible to replicate. Vegapunk does not even want to talk much about it. This is also very interesting because to us, it seems like Vegapunk was able to replicate somehow a Logia devil fruit, especially the Pika Pika no Mi, the devil fruit of Kizaru, because he implemented the beams that the Pika Pika no Mi can produce onto the Seraphim and the Pacifista, basically. But yeah, it kind of makes a lot of sense because nature and natural things are inherently very difficult to even produce. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. And for the last line, it says that on the last page of the chapter, we see Kizaru leading a fleet towards Egghead Island. And this is absolutely mind-boggling, because not only are we ending this year with a banger, but this is also building up to what might be one of the hypest possible battles we're ever going to see in the series, and possibly end a year-long debate about who's stronger. an admiral, or a Yonko. And like I stated in my latest video, there's a big possibility that instead of fighting Luffy, Kizaru might actually end up being an ally. So if you're curious, go check out that video so that you don't miss out. Anyways, very short initial spoilers that we got for this week, but very hype initial spoilers. This is probably going to be the last chapter of this year, so buckle up guys. Next year we got a lot more. So this is pretty much it guys. If you like content like this, please consider to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, all that YouTube goody stuff. And until next time, drink some Coke.